Hello, people. Welcome back to today's episode of Everyday Heroes, brought to you by Keith, James, and your hosts Cliff and Mike. On today's episode, we have Chris Lutterloah, the singer-songwriter for the band Freebase Propane. He has also been in multiple newly released movies, and he's going to come down and talk about his experiences in the entertainment world. So sit back and relax and listen to us yap, and happy holidays.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely based off the hosts and guests and are not associated with any agency, corporation, or LLC. Enjoy the show. I feel a beat coming on. Hit it, boys!
Mike's got the facts with a stern face. Cliff's cracking jokes just to keep the pace. Together they tackle the big and the small. Everyday heroes standing tall. Mike's the brain and Cliff's
What's going on, buddy? What's going on, my friend? What's going on? What a great Thanksgiving we are having.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you, man. What'd you do? Did you eat some food?
Cooked and cooked and cooked. And then once I was done cooking, I cleaned. Because that's what I do. Because I'm a bitch.
Damn. So, what was on the menu today?
We did 2 fried turkeys, 2 hams, and then I did mac and cheese. I did green bean casserole, deviled eggs.
What are we
So, we're wearing some Gamecocks gear. Big game coming up on Saturday.
Saturday is a big game going against Clemson.
I'm telling you, I've said it before on this show. I was going to say it again. South Carolina is the scariest 3-loss team in college right now.
Well, we'll see. My boss is so scared of Carolina right now. So we'll see what happens.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
No, he's a big Clemson fan. He graduated from Clemson, and so he's scared. But, I mean, we always play each other tight. I mean, I hope it's a blowout, but if it's not, we always play each other tight.
We've won the past 2, though, right?
Ooh, I don't know if we.
I think we only if we had a guy to look it up and check it out.
I know.
for us.
Where's James at?
James, hanging out in Universal Studio. Well, dude, check this out, man. I brought this. My oldest daughter went shopping. We did the last minute run, and she says, "Hey, Dad, I bought something for you." Because I asked for eggnog. I love eggnog. Do you love eggnog? I love eggnog.
I don't like
You're
eggnog.
different?
Yeah, it is. I'll try it.
Well, we're going to try this. We're going to try this so everybody can see it. But we're not going to do a big one. But I just want to go around the table and see. But basically, it's which camera you got on?
Yes, it's a main one. Yeah.
All right, check this out. This is eggnog already infused with Fireball. I mean, what can go wrong with that? That's got to be holiday in your mouth, right?
All right.
It sounds like something in your mouth, but not holiday.
All right, let's get this done real quick, and then well, before we get going, let's introduce our guest today. We got Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
So Chris is from the band Freebase Propane.
I'm actually from his.
Not in the beginning. There was an
Before there
explosion.
was light,
Then the
there
earth
was life. Chris Lutterloah of Freebase Propane, sponsored by Bad Dragon.
So yeah, this is my son Chris. He's a musician. He's an actor. Very glad to have him. He's also very, very open book. So having him is going to be fun. He takes after me a lot in his mannerisms. So it's going to be fun to have him on today.
Pray for me.
But yeah, pray for Mike because we're wild.
All right.
By taking after him in his mannerisms, he means that I'm very homoerotic with my friends.
That's exactly right.
Can I just tell you, man, I'm already feeling you because I spent a career in a field where it was just gay chicken for 23 years.
Damn,
Yeah.
Alex Jones was right.
All right, so here we are. We're about to try the Fireball infused eggnog, and give it.
Oh, it don't sound good. Yeah, toasty.
You're good. We'll try it later.
Yeah. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Sticky
Yep.
bed sheets for all.
Oh my Lord!
Good God,
That's
y'all.
okay.
What is it good for?
Hold on, just let it sit.
Actually,
That's not bad.
No, that was not bad. That wasn't bad.
It's like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Dude,
That's
it
really
was
tastes
exactly like that.
Yeah, it tastes like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like the what is that? Fireball and Chumrata
Yep.
mixed together.
Yep.
That's kind of what
Is that
it.
what you
I
were
bet
trying
you.
to say earlier.
No, I wasn't trying to say that. But
I'm
that's
sorry.
exactly
Don't get
what
him
that
started.
tastes like. Yeah. You know how I roll. That was actually pretty good.
That wasn't bad. I'd do
I
another
don't
one.
think it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll keep drinking that throughout the show.
No, we will not.
Speak for yourself, Mike.
I
You,
will.
sir, please go ahead.
Killing it. Killing it.
Chris, what'd y'all do for Thanksgiving today?
I worked 12 hours almost and dealt with a bunch of grown men whining at each other about random grown men things.
What is a typical grown man thing?
A grown man thing, somebody taking too long on a cigarette break, probably because they're not just smoking cigarettes.
Oh,
But
some grown man shit.
swear to God, only first beer, first shot of the eggnog. I'm just
Somebody's ready for Christmas, man.
hallelujah. I'm more of a Hanukkah guy myself. I like them 7 days, man. Is it 7 days? I don't
It's 7 days.
I don't know anything about Hanukkah. I was just kidding.
There was a person I knew that they were Jewish, but they celebrated the Christmas too. So they would get a gift. Or no, I didn't know this. Maybe I heard this. Maybe it was another comedian, but basically they said like they would get a skateboard, but you wouldn't get the skateboard. On the first day you would get the wheels. On the second day you'd get the truck. On the third day you'd get the spacers. And I mean you just get it, and finally on the seventh day you'd finally have your full present.
It's like that Johnny Cash song. It was a 68, 69.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
The
Yeah.
Cadillac, man. That sounds like a pretty cool car. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Some like weird steampunk stuff, but the skateboard's cool too. I just kind of prefer a Cadillac. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sorry, go ahead.
That was so
So you're in the
perfect.
band Free Base Propane. When did you start playing the guitar? I know you're an avid guitar player.
Avid.
Yeah, I mean you're good. I mean you might not think you're good, but you're good. So
Thank you.
how long have you been playing?
In the day, I learned what the hell was it? Seven Nation Army. I think you taught me on your old bass, the one that said "Don't be a dick."
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So you really started playing on a ukulele though.
Yeah, I mean, because I was listening to this band at the time, Never Shout Never, emo phase, you know what I'm saying? But they had some bangers, I'm not gonna lie. And dude has a really high pitched voice, kind of looks like a girl, and I'm kind of down with that. So like, you know, I was really big into the ukulele for a while. Nowadays, you know, Kelsey plays ukulele. She's pretty badass, but she won't do any solos on the album. She says it mars her career. And
Chris, let me ask you this: did you always find yourself a little bit more interested in like being a musician? Did you feel yourself to be like a creative person, artistic wise or musician wise?
I remember I would always like, so I have severe ADHD. I don't know if that's obvious or not, but like I would always like start storybooks and stuff like that, like trying to write stories, and I would always get to like the first chapter, and then I would just like forget that I was even writing the damn thing. So I kind of like, we used to sit in Waffle House all the time, and you know, like he would write his stuff and like I would write my stuff. More often than not, I was distracted with everything else. But like, so I figured out poetry was a thing. And, you know, you can be concise and just, like, you can just finish that, like, quick. And so I started to do that. In the ninth grade, I was super weird to my English teacher. I would, like, give her big-ass stacks of, like, just random shit that I'd written, which now looking back, like, I know she would probably, like, dude, come on, man. Like, I already have to grade assignments and stuff. I don't need this. But, like, it was what I did. And, then I completely uprooted my life. Well, no, I'm not even going to get into why it was uprooted, but I moved here and, you know, to be in a rock band. And it was the best rock band that ever existed.
So one question here real quick as we're moving through this. So like, were you still in school when you were like, let me join the rock band, or was this post high school?
I was still in school. I did like a year in public school, and then tried to do like an online thing. Ended up moving out. I think I went straight to my buddy Wyatt's house, who now I call him my brother and stuff. We went through a lot of stuff in that house. But that was essentially a squat house. Met my mom now, like adopted mom, whatever, because I don't really interact with the other one. But
Just kind of asking, like, you know, what point in your life did you like, hey, let me start this band? And then like, how was that created? Was it something like a group of friends got together, or was it something where somebody said, hey, they're looking for a guitarist?
So I wouldn't say friend now, but like at the time, somebody that I knew on Facebook, who our first interaction, I had like posted a cover, because I used to do those. I had posted a cover of like a Beatles song, I think. Or no, I think it was actually one of the first songs I ever wrote, and they commented on it. I was using a ukulele still at the time, just learning, like picking up guitar, and they commented on it, and they were like, this sounds like shit. And then like later on messaged me, and they were like, will you be the singer in my rock band? And like my 2024 instrumental. So, you know, like I was like, hell yeah, I'll move back to South Carolina.
I do not smell like booty. Like, I don't know where you guys are coming
Booty
from.
has
Look,
a significantly
I was on the pickleball court one time trying to bring us a W, and your daddy over here. I just heard it was a nice day, man. It was like 78 degrees. Let me paint the picture for you. Ready?
Oh,
it was 78 degrees. The sun's barely going down. I'm like, we're about to get this W, and right as your dad bends over,
there he
and
was.
it's and guess who's right behind him? It was me.
Look. I have been there on the tail end of your little.
What do you?
And it's not fucking gravy train.
I will say that this does show a great deal of progress. Now he's comfortable in his sexuality. They're admitting to getting down and dirty with each other. Admittedly, it's a little kinky, but I'm not going to kink shame.
Look, man,
It's your dad and my husband.
we operate within the closet. That's our battle space.
When you started playing guitar,
Old geek fiddle.
I feel like you were able to express yourself to sort, because you've been in dark places. How did the guitar help you get out of those dark places?
Very specifically, that band ended up breaking up because the person in question who had gotten me to move here, like, wanted to like skip out on practice to like play the Xbox One, I think. And you know, I was young and I was like very confident in myself, which I don't know where that even came from, because it was never like the case beforehand. It just kind of like happened for a solid year, and I was the biggest dick about it in the world. And you know, we ended up kicking them out of the band. Whole thing dissipated. And then I was just like living in a squat house and needed to pay for beer and cigarettes and food for my dog. And so I would just walk like 3.5 miles every day to the BP that was like whole ordeal to get there. But I would carry my guitar every single day, and I would go out and I would sit in front of the BP. Well, for a while it was the BP, and then I started to work for them for 7 years. Yeah.
I wanted to go back on something you said about your ADHD and playing instruments. Do you feel that when you're playing those instruments, like the world that may be, you know, a lot coming in at once, like it kind of focuses in? Is that your one time where it's just that one thing, or does it get worse?
Sitting me with a guitar and just like nothing in front of me does not lead to like beautiful music or anything like that. It leads to pretty simple, like Johnny Cash-esque, like doom, 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 doom.
So I've heard some of your lyrics, and some of your lyrics even mention your family. It mentions your dark times. So what you write about now, what does it include? Like, because right now you're in a happy place. What do you write about now? Like,
I mean, I also have like severe depression and anxiety. Like, oh my God, dude, the anxiety's rough lately. I've developed nervous tics, like facial tics and stuff. Like if I'm like freaking out, I mean, she can tell you, she's seen it, like specifically like an anxiety attack for me. And it doesn't take a lot, you know what I mean? It used to be like, whenever I started writing, I was trying to like, cause I was listening to a lot of Beatles at the time. So I was trying to write like, you know, love songs and stuff. And I wrote a couple of like decent ones for love songs. And then I was like, this doesn't mean anything because I'm dating a different chick every 3 months. Like it kind of sucks, and it's like derivative as hell of everything else around it. And so then I transitioned into just singing about how shitty I was, and like admittedly I was pretty bad, but like it was a method used to just acknowledge that at a point where I was incapable of actually acknowledging my faults and like doing it in a healthy manner, which I ended up quitting making music entirely for like a solid 2 years, which I was going by a different name beforehand, but I quit because I saw myself like just dragging myself, man. Like I was relentless, just on the constantly like, I'm a piece of shit. I can't do anything. And it like messed with me, man. Like I would go to shows and I would like scream at random people and shit, like on stage, which it's part of the show. But like, meanwhile, like, in reality, do you think that persona that you made for your stage kind of bled over to your personal life then? If you're absolutely.
Yeah. So how did you start the process of delineating between the two?
I just completely stopped writing music, and then fell in love with a really, 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 really great person who had 3 years to live. Cut that short pretty early in. Was in a lot of pain. I mean, cirrhosis of the liver type beat, 2024 instrumental. You know, I lost really, really hard, and it was not like any other loss that I'd ever experienced before. It wasn't the loss of a friend. It wasn't like, it wasn't losing a house, which, I mean, he can tell you, like, I've been from place to place for most of my life. I only like just started renting my own place like 5 years ago max, I think. And you know, I experienced a different kind of loss, and that one led to me sitting up in like a psychosis like state, just kind of like I still have like notebooks filled with just like ranting, almost like it doesn't like stop. It goes from the top of the page all the way to the bottom, and it just talks about her, like the things that like she
did. You find that therapeutic?
No, dude, it sucked, man. It was the worst, one of the worst times of my life, but it was what like made me start writing again, and that I guess is kind of what became therapeutic, because I quit for a long time. I went from writing an album every 6 months and releasing it on my own. Granted, they all sounded like crap, but like I still did it. You know what I mean? I have 14 albums. That's something I can say I did. You know, not a lot of people can. But like, I wasn't writing about how much of a piece of shit I was. I was writing, and I noticed that, like, first things first, I noticed like, holy shit, dude, like I'm not griping at myself for things that I don't have, well, that I do have control over, but like that I'm having trouble controlling. Instead, I'm writing about like, this is somebody, excuse my language, that I fucking loved, you know what I mean? And PG-13 be damned, like that was something like strong, man. And I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt, for like, I think one of the first times in my life, that this person unconditionally loved me back. And regardless of like what the relationship was or anything like that. Like, that was something that I knew, was that this person, like, gave a shit, and like they genuinely liked me. They liked to be around me, and then they were gone. And like, so I dealt with that for a while, and then in order to like move on, I wrote and recorded an entire album in my closet, in my underwear, piss drunk most of it, dude. I mean, that was a rough period. I would stay up like 2 to 3 nights in a row, like just stay up, not on anything, just in the closet, just writing. And no, I don't mean in the closet as in like trying to figure out if I'm gay or not. I've known for quite some time I like a little bit of man in my life.
So let me ask you this, Chris. Do you think that music saved you at that point?
No. I think that it completely wasted a great portion of my life. But gosh, man, I tell you, I would go back and do it again in a heartbeat, because damn if it ain't fun, man. Like, it's just really fun, and it's
So you don't think that the ability, and I've known you your whole life, like you used to bang through some books. Like, you don't think letting your feelings out on the paper releases something for you?
Well, now I just bang books, so thanks, Mike.
I got it. I was picking up what you were throwing down.
I knew he would get it at the very least. As long as Mike gets me, that's all I need. Nah, I still read. Now I read a lot less random horror. Do you remember the book The Mall? Like, that was about the random dude who like shot up the mall.
I do remember that. Yeah.
What is this?
The Mall.
The Mall.
I
wish I could remember.
Why did you let me read that at the age that I read that? There was a scene in that.
Listen, hang on.
Like,
listen,
cougar
Linda.
lady like straight up gives this
Listen,
a
Linda.
Blumpkin, essentially, but without the dookie. A Blumpkin without the dookie.
Listen, well, real quick. Listen.
Explicit detail. And I was in school like 4th, 5th grade. Like, oh my God. Damn, I have no idea what's going on, but why is he thinking about KFC or like worrying about if he farts or not while this lady's doing her thing?
Your intelligence level was at such a point. You don't remember this, but your intelligence level was so high that it still is. That you just to pour through these books. Like, it was book after book after book, and they were huge books. And your intelligence level was so high that I let you read books that were maybe above your.
Because you didn't read it first.
Well, I mean, to be clear,
well, I can't read anyway, Lana.
4, so like I already knew what was up. Like, like it wasn't anything I hadn't like seen happen. You know what I'm saying? Tried to keep me out of a cult.
So listen, like, I was an avid reader. Like, I read a ton too. And I was always into horror books. Like, I was always Stephen King. So when he came and he started reading all these huge, now he read books that were like
James
more fantasy.
Patterson.
Well, that's me.
Dean Koontz.
I like Dean.
I was all
remember
over
that.
Dean
What
Koontz,
best?
man.
Yeah.
All right, best Dean Koontz.
I wish I could tell you one of his books' names.
All right, best.
I don't.
Best Stephen King.
Oh, dude. Damn. So The Regulators and the what's the other one that's written in his alias? But it's The Regulators Part 2, essentially.
Yeah.
It's in the same town and all the same characters, but they're like living a different nightmare. Regulators went hard, dude. I remember.
Was it like the Upside Down, and was it?
No, dude, it was so much better. So they're still like they're living in their neighborhood, right? They're all just. I remember there was this old dude. He was picking a guitar on the porch. He's watching. This teenage couple, this dude's on his bike and like the girl's talking to him, and he's like he's pondering upon like young love, stuff like that, whatever the hell, while he picks his guitar. And then these I think it was like 3 just neon colors, like very flashy vans pulled up. And he knew that they were familiar, but he couldn't really place it. But they pull up next to the teenage couple. One of the windows rolls down. You can't see who's in it. And the barrel of something sticks out and blasts both of them, man, just right then and there. And from that point forward, which, mind you, we're like 5 pages in, it just goes haywire. What
was a page turner? Like you couldn't put it down?
It couldn't put me down, man. I really felt it. No, that was a good story, I think. I thought it was cool that, they weren't like safe at any point, and like the whole time they were, everything was being caused by this like little obviously autistic kid. But this was at a point where like we weren't calling autistic kids autistic. We were just like, that kid was weird, man.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah, special needs. You know what I'm saying? He like was only in his underwear throughout the entire book, nonverbal, but like he watched this thing called The Regulators, and it was a TV show. Like all of it was a TV show. And so these people, because eventually there were people coming out of the vans, like these people were the people in his TV show, but like shadow versions of them that just brutalized people, man. And that was so hardcore. It again. No, Desperation. Is it Desperation?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That was the movie. So do you think that do you think that that's why you're into your field now, like horror movies?
I was a little bit of a pussy as a kid. One time in a haunted house,
Wait a minute. You got to tell this story, Chris. You got to tell this story.
All right, so we went to a haunted house. I was pussy as a kid. One time in a haunted house that we had gone to together, I have no concept of like how old I was. I could have been 14, could have been 12, could have been 5.
You were 8.
Close.
Thank God I wasn't 14. No, we walked through. I think this was the second one we'd been to, but in this one specifically, I think it was Jason and Michael, two slashers that I was like well familiar with. I hated those movies, but damned if I didn't sit and watch every single one like a train wreck, man. Like,
man, I only watched them movies when I was a kid growing up because those usually had like nudity in them. You know what I mean? And when you're a teenage boy,
straight white men, guys, they are a plague. They need to be stopped.
I'm just playing. Look, man, Nightmare on Elm Street was always came through.
So many batches
What happened at that haunted house?
Michael and Jason came out. Oh, damn. And then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
that was
came
the thing,
out.
right.
What's his name? Leatherface came out of nowhere with the RKO. I'm just kidding. He had a chainsaw. but he came out of nowhere with a chainsaw. And that shit hit. And me and this little kid, he was slightly younger than I was. I know because I do specifically remember us going... and then splitting like we ran out that door and man, shoulder to shoulder, we pressed our way through, man. I don't even know if physics should have allowed for that, but they did, man, that night. And that night I pissed my pants. So they literally scared the absolute piss out of me.
So I'm like I'm watching these two kids go out the door at the same time, like, and then Chris, dude, I had a PT Cruiser at the time.
I had ADHD. I used to piss my pants a lot.
Don't be trying to make up for it now. You piss your pants.
It's a genuine thing. Ask.
So then he told me he peed on himself, but I didn't care because listen, this was scary, dude. Like it was like Jason, and then it was like Freddy Krueger, and I'm like, oh, dude, man, I have masks that look like that.
Leatherface coming out,
and then Leatherface broke through the wall.
God,
when he did that, dude, I almost pissed on myself. I'll give you credit on that one. You're engaged, so talk to us about that. You're engaged right now. So when's the day?
So I guess you could say it's getting pretty serious. We kissed the other day for the first time.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. How long have you guys been together?
Wouldn't you like to know whether
I would.
No, 2 years, February. Huh? No way in hell. I'm not that bad at memory. Did I just lose a year? I just lost the year? No, because I've only been working with Astronomic Studios. Check them out, dude. They're an indie production company from North Carolina, run by Bobby Knipe Jr., as the Americans pronounce it. He's literally the savior of the universe, thus the Astronomics. Makes pretty good cheesy horror movies. And he's just a cool dude. Check him out. What was I talking about?
So that's interesting that you bring that up. So as far as your movie career, on these movies, these are indie movies.
Wait, can we talk about Kelsey again just real quick?
Sure.
I'm so sorry because we used to be like really, really close. I'll come back to that. I swear.
go ahead.
I used to be really, really good friends with Kelsey and like, I played D&D. I guess you could say I get down and dirty with a little collaborative storytelling. I called her one time for like an hour and a half to just like talk about Figma, which looking back, well, no. I mean, even at the time, I was fully aware that like I didn't really want to learn how to use Figma, but like it was nice to talk to somebody.
What is Figma?
Wouldn't you Figma nuts? I'm just kidding. It's a design software. She can probably she was a D&D player, and we had a really, really bad it was a good campaign for a brief moment, and then she played in one D&D campaign. It was rough. Actually, the first time we ever interacted, she was like, yeah, I'll play in your D&D campaign, and then nobody would send me their character sheets, and so I was like, listen guys, I've been putting a lot of effort into this, so like I think I'm good, which I am so glad that she messaged me and was like, hey, I'm sorry, like I was busy with work. She's the only one who did that. Because I kept her and then built another like group of people, started a campaign that lasted a short while there, and then he left and we started it with her brother Ryan, who I was in the second grade with. I remember meeting her dad before I ever met her, and he has no idea, like he doesn't remember it at all. But yeah, her brother and I were in second grade together, Dobie's Mill, and we'd stayed in contact, kind of. I didn't have friends in school. You know what I mean? Like, not a lot. I was weird. I was very weird. It is hard to be mentally unwell and, like, uncertain of what's going on, and also, like, dealing with somebody who is actively telling the people who are supposed to be helping you things that, like, just weren't happening. I mean, I got put on a lot of medications I shouldn't have been put on. What's up, man?
Question.
You don't have to raise your hand. It's your podcast. Dude.
No, I
Take
just
control.
I got you. I just want to. I wanted you to finish your thought. But, oh my goodness! Oh my damn!
Oh my god!
So
sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm talking to her, not you.
Don't. I
Sorry, Mike.
actually get
You're
pretty
good.
bad myself. So
Walk me through. So what is, like, I know Dungeons and Dragons just on face value. What does that mean? Like, I don't understand when you guys say that we're doing this quest. What is that?
Okay, so the way that I do it, and Kelsey can confirm, the way that I do it is I'll come up with a general. Well, I used to, whenever I actually had more time, because I was living in my. Because things happen. I ended up in a house that I really, really couldn't afford, and I went through a bunch of roommates, and then my husband Matt, who we're not actually married. We're married in a video game, but we've been married for 705 days or something like that.
Oh, like a street.
It's a game, but also it's very serious. So please don't laugh. No, I'm just I'm playing. He ended up moving in with me, and I was living out of my living room. I was spending 5 to 6 days a week, like making a world, and like I was making money from running like 6 sessions a week or some. I don't remember the exact number, but I know it was most of the week because I didn't really have like a steady job because I just lost a job at USC actually in the research labs because Ramshackle had just died. I also lost a car, hospital, which don't be afraid to check yourself into a mental hospital. They have cool socks. But the problem was I did it on a Friday and then ended up stuck there until Monday and paid $8,000 damn dollars because America. I did it at the wrong time, but I didn't know that I was doing it at the wrong time. But, we played D&D together. She was the most invested player that I had ever written like a campaign for because like with D&D back in the day it just used to be about like killing monsters, making gold, but like the type of D&D that I like to play is very specifically like you are in a world, shit exists, man. What are you gonna do? Like, what do? You have a character. You should, because of the way that I try to make them like work on their characters, it's less about stats and more about like who are you like as a character. Like I've played a character named Gary the Goblin. He used to disguise himself with spells as a halfling, which is a hobbit essentially. He would disguise himself as a halfling and go around and be like, hey, I don't know where I heard this from, but you didn't hear it from me. Gary the Goblin. Excuse my language.
No, you're fine.
Please bleep these out.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to get you guys canceled. Well, you guys are going to get you guys canceled.
The only people that can fire us is like you have to create this entire world from scratch.
You don't have to. I mean,
is it more fun if you do it, or is it like so?
It was at the time because I needed to get out of this. I guess that's why I kind of trauma dumped.
It's a different reality.
Yeah, like I needed to be that invested in something. Like I needed to be writing entire city histories because I really just didn't want to think about like that was the D&D stuff was before the album. It was the 4-song, 5-song EP, but like the D&D stuff was before that. The album then came halfway through a campaign with her brother, his wife Laurel, I love you, and her, obviously my buddy Eli, who pour one out for him. He's alive. He's just wild.
Do you think? I was about to say, is he dead?
No. He's
one out.
I hope he's not dead. I haven't heard from him. Like,
so
not going to talk about that on.
So one thing the way you release yourself is through creativity. I mean, through all of the facets of this, it's your writing, it's your music, and then it's your D&D creations. I mean, you are releasing yourself through creativity. Like, you're a very creative person, and it's weird to see how you release yourself through your creativity.
I wouldn't even say that. Perhaps with the music, but even then, I don't necessarily think so. I think that itself is more of a way for me to just, like, I don't know, because it doesn't feel like a release. It's not cathartic in any way. It is merely an escape from current situations. It is a way of, like, being forced to, like, face those current situations and, like, acknowledge them. But it never like goes away, if that makes sense. Sorry, I feel well, have you ever seen those videos where like the dudes will use like the voice modulators to sound like a kid?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, man. If you KD me one more time, I'm gonna teabag you.
Can you do one of those?
Turn it to the kid.
Oh yeah,
Chris,
we got a whole
this
bunch
is me.
of stuff. Yeah.
Hey man, you sit there and teabag me one more time, I'm gonna double tap your ass.
What?
Did I just take you back?
He's like,
Flashback.
He's like, oh man, I gotta go.
So
Actually, I have to go by.
So let me ask you this. So now that you're in movies, and I know your girlfriend,
Fiance.
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 Somebody got to upgrade. You got glammed up. Glammed up.
Yeah,
So-
that is the most expensive thing I've ever bought. It took me forever.
Yeah, let's hope she doesn't lose the diamond.
Oh,
You think I bought her a diamond? No, we're poor, buddy. Have you seen it down?
so it
Yeah.
seems like since you've been in the movies and you're in like horror films, you do your thing, bud.
I wouldn't say that. I do it because it is something that I can do with an entire group of people. And I mean like a large group of people. And it's very rare for me. Like right now, I'm hellified uncomfortable.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you're doing great, man.
Thanks.
You are.
But it doesn't feel like it. And so like I'm freaking out like on the inside, you know what I'm saying? But like that group of people, Booby Kanoopy, master of the universe, savior as well. He's a really good guy, like a genuinely good person who like actually cares about the people he's around, and kind of like with Ramshackle, like it's a group of people that I don't have to ask myself, do these people not like me? Like, am I annoying them in some way? Because I apologize constantly. You know what I mean? Like, there used to be situations that I would be put in where like I really wasn't at like a position to like protect myself at all. It was just really, really strong people compared to where I was in the world who abused that power to like make me do things.
Manipulate.
Yeah, essentially to manipulate and make me do things that they wanted me to do that I didn't want to do. Whether that be, for instance, one. I don't even remember what the hell we were. I'm sorry, I came on here trauma dumping.
I appreciate you being honest with us. So what? So on these movies, so you don't feel like they're an outlet.
Yeah,
but
they're a safe place.
But the scenes that I've seen you in these movies, you're always the funny guy. Like, it's not
Have
the
you seen
reason.
Night of the Strangers?
No, I have not seen Night of the Strangers. By the way, Chris is in what's these movies? Return of the
Corn Zombies.
I play Kelsey's hot
The
boyfriend.
Children of the Woods, Amityville Ripper, and worked on The Rescue.
Yeah, what
Worked
was
on
that?
The Rescue. I've also been on Red Light District Shark Attack, but that's kind of the ugly duckling of our friend group. Not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
It had something to do with the Christian media. No, I'm just kidding. It had nothing to do with them. Just things happen. Life happens. People interact for brief periods of... Mother effing Bloody Bones, which I'm actually really excited for. Kelsey plays like a super like just tomboyish lesbian character, which I'm in my head canon lesbian character, and then I play as in my head canon, which this character was originally written in the script as like a guy, but like I specifically felt like it should be just like a trans woman, and like it's not. I'm not like making fun of anybody or like being a caricature in any way, although I do have a very gratuitous ass shot, so be sure to watch out for those.
Did you do some squats prior to?
Hell no, man, this shit's natural.
Natural.
No, and we both talk with redneck accents. We break into a house together. That's all.
Can you give us some lines?
To give.
Like with the accent? Can you give us like a line with the accent? Is that okay?
Give me a line. Oh. Dang it. Never mind.
I was gonna say, was that it?
Hang on, man. Hang on.
That's my entire character. Bloody Bones is a cursed set, though. I was sick. I went there to kind of like intern doing sound and stuff because Astronomic Studios, like Bobby is and Jamie, who are like the co-owners and stuff, co-founders. They're very particular about the fact that they want to create a space where like if you want to do something you can, and so like I was there to learn sound and stuff. I'd gone there like 3 days before Kelsey. First day I forgot my meds. I was depressed, so I slept all day. Second day, I woke up. I had a like splitting migraine. I went outside and had to like cover my eyes with my beanie that I was wearing because of how bad the sun hurt, and it was all outside shooting for that day. So I was like, I'm good, guys. And then the third day, she can even vouch for me, I was throwing up and stuff, man, and like I was sick for 3 days, and then the fourth day I filmed and stuff. I was still sick, but like then toward the end of the day I felt fine, where this is like our day, like things are going to happen. We really need our makeup artist because we really need the creature. And then our makeup artist falls through a damn porch because we're filming at like this 1940s house. And like it's dilapidated and everything. And she falls through the porch and like sprains her ankle. The monster makeup takes 2 hours alone. And she's our makeup department. And so and our producer. And so we had to reschedule in order to like fix it.
How's like a normal day? Like I've never been in that world at all. So like, can you walk us through if everybody's fine and everything's kind of clicking? What does like a normal day of shooting look like?
You know, wake up, drank. Who was that? Kendrick Lamar? Yeah, I know music. Wake up, eat, shout out Terry, I love you, baby. You are the sweetest person in the entire dang world. Terry's Clint, the sound guy. He's like my set dad, and Jamie's our set mom, because they love us. Clint won't admit it.
Now, what's the set dad and set mom?
Cliff. He's like Cliff, where he's like very sorry.
What, he's fat? What do you mean by
No,
that?
not
What do
you.
mean?
Not you, Cliff. Whenever I'm saying Cliff, I'm talking about Grandpa.
Where
he's
your grandpa.
like, he's like he's a man's man. I mean, he has like a workshop out in the back of it. He built his own shelves and stuff.
So what are you saying about me? I'm not a man's man?
You're a little fruity. I mean, you were raised by Scylla. That's all I'm saying. And so was I. I get it.
By a bunch of chicks.
Yeah, I get it. So was I.
got
But
you.
like, come on. I mean, that's where it came. I mean, I wouldn't even say that's where it came from. It's just I felt more comfortable expressing my femininity. People think that PC stands for politically correct, but it actually stands for pine cones. Little known fact. You know, what is considered politically correct, that's just talking to people with respect.
So we're up and moving through our day. Since like we woke up, we had a couple drinks. Then what's next?
No, we do not have.
We don't have drinks.
No, not during set.
Okay.
So I actually make it a pretty huge point not to be jacked up during set. And that actually now we were working with SRS Cinema, which we still, if I'm not mistaken, are going to be. Is that right? SRS Cinema, Ron, a dude who runs it, I'm blanking on his last name. They're all Ron Bonk. He's cool. He makes a lot of movies, or like he's overseeing a lot of movies. So I have not seen everything they make, so I'm not gonna like endorse them. No, I'm just kidding. They're good. It's cheesy horror, but like you wake up, Astronomic Studios made it one of the rules, like you cannot be messed up on set, because we've had like people who showed up like drunk off their ass and like couldn't do their lines, or like were rushing their lines, or etc. Enter reasons that it's going to take us an hour for them to say like 5 lines. So they made it a rule that was the thing. They made it a rule that Astronomic Studios would be inclusive to people of all walks of life. Anybody who wants to make movies has kind of that push, the nudge, the support system, and the crazy ass people who work there.
Like when you have, like when they set you up, like do you read the lines prior to shooting, or is it something you rehearse at night and then in the morning and then right before? Or do you get to a point where you're just like, at this point I'm good, here we go?
we used to read them out, like, and I would always try to give like every character a different voice, but then I realized that takes an ass load of time to like read out an entire script out loud and stuff. So I stopped doing that because I used to distract the hell. I'm talking like this, and like I'm supposed to be the character named Brenda, but like she talks like this all the time. Watch out, Debbie! Like shit like that, you know. So I stopped doing that. Now I just read over the script one good time whenever it gets sent out, and then in the like 2 days leading up to travel to set, I just read it like once or twice. That way I'm at the very least familiar with the story. And then as far as like on set, whenever we decide, like, because they hash out like we're gonna film scene 39, 58, whatever the hell, you know, we're gonna do that today, and then enter these scenes are tomorrow at enter time here, because you got to block it out so that everybody's in the same place where they need to be, and so
yeah, because the movie's not shot in sequential order, is it?
Oh God, dude, no, and it drives me up a damn wall. Like it does drive, like, because my brain wants it all to go like, and it does.
You want it to be linear, right?
Yeah, man, and we filmed the ending scene of one of the movies like first. I can't remember which one it was, but we filmed the ending scene to it first, and then did the rest of it almost in chronological order.
Uh-huh.
And so by the end of set, I was like, well, wait, what about the end?
And they're like, you already did that. That was day one, man.
I mean, it's fun, man. I mean, set is...
So, well, how does cast... Well, talk to me about how do you get, like, on these? So, like, you know, if there's somebody listening to this and they're like, hey, I'd really be a part of movies, is there a casting process, or is it just something you kind of reach out online and say, hey, I'm really interested. Do you have something for me to start and at least try?
I mean, the way that I did it is not the way that most people do it. Most people, like, they go to the Facebook groups and stuff. I just fell in love with the right chick at the right time and happened to, like, our first big trip outside of, like, going to Charleston, I think, together. Actually, that's where Kelsey said that she loved me for the first time in front of the Black Dog.
What's up with that, Kelsey?
And then 5 minutes later, while we were in a honey shop on King Street, I bumped into her on accident and called her the C word.
Oh God!
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
You bumped into who?
Kelsey, and was like, "Sorry, C word," because I don't want to get you guys canceled. I was like, "Sorry, C word," and it just fell out of my mouth. I love the C word.
Healthy tonality.
I mean, I was like, "Sorry, punt."
No, well, listen.
Punt with a P.
Yeah. So I went to Chris's.
Love that word.
I went to his show when on his 21st birthday when he was able to drink.
I invited him and my biological mom, which was a nightmare.
So
hold on a second. How'd this go?
Let me tell you this:
entire bottle of spiced rum.
He might have drank too much. He might have called me the C word.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That means he loves us, right?
Yeah,
that's his term of endearment.
He loves us. So, I feel special. He called me the C word too. So now I don't feel bad. Like at the time I was like, damn, he just called me the C word.
Well, that's the thing is I love that word, man. And I use it like an Aussie. You know what I mean? They use the C word to like describe a shopping cart. They're like, oh, you buggery, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And I like that. I think it is grand. And I especially adore whenever old ladies who are otherwise fully convinced that I'm a sweet little boy who does everything he's supposed to do, which I never like try to present myself as this. Like whenever I'm anxious, I just kind of like, hey, you need any help? Because I'm a very acts of service type of person. Mm-hmm. Like she can't like stand up to get nothing, man, because I'm gonna be like, hey, you need anything, and like walk out in the kitchen and like wait until she does, you know.
That you must, I mean, you probably get that from our side because we are very subservient.
Yeah. I also she can't what's the word, not even like, I wouldn't say like chastise, but something to similar effect. She can't bring stuff up sometimes without from previous the absolute lord for Kelsey B, because I mean, to be honest, like she's kind of like the straight man. You know, if I'm like the crazy cop, like I'm a little wacky, I'm gonna show up with like a fifth of whiskey and I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I know you did it, boy." Like she's like, "Hey man, you could like." He could just be gone, and like it could just be me and you, buddy. And
oh yeah, when I think of who is a straight lace, I do think of Kelsey. Yeah, and I think the kids do too.
Oh, dude, it's bad because sometimes, you know, I don't have a filter, and I just say certain things that are pretty ranted at times. I mean, you know, I'm not being like harmful to anybody in my head. At least maybe I am, but it's like deep-seated stuff. I don't know. I'll work through it in therapy. But like she's like, "Why would you say something like that?" And I'm like, "We're joking." Yeah. But she's the level-headed one.
So let's talk.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was curious about like we've mentioned therapy quite a bit. How long have you been in therapy for? And what was like the moment where you're like, "Hey, you know, I need to see some help to try to work through some of these things."
So I've been in therapy like most of my life. You know,
yeah, we could hit you with the, you know, something like, you know, maybe this next time. Every time you say it.
That's the one. That's the one. So yesterday I took a fat. Okay. Well,
I got you.
Oh,
we got to work through it.
You're really this up, man.
There.
You need to pull your. No, I'm just kidding.
There we go. We got it.
Yeah, there you go, Mike. You're getting it.
I'm getting it.
Hell yeah. Progress.
What is it? 2024 instrumental?
Type B. No, you just have to say type B after literally any sentence ever. I don't know if you've seen YouTube, but if you look up freestyle beats, you'll get a lot of that. Ski Mask the Slump God type beat. 2024 rap instrumental. Like they just put buzzwords. But
words like this recent, like your relationship with your therapist was really good, and like how you kind of got into that, and was there a moment where you're like, "Hey,"
I thought you asked about the drawing game for some reason.
There was part of the drawing game too.
Oh yeah, I do that because I'm scared of losing like my memories, like really scared, like to the point I write down things that we talk about. Like if say we're like bickering at each other, I'll write down things that were said because I'm not sure like whether or not I did say something in a conversation, and like that's concerning. And so I don't know, you know, after Hope House, I didn't go to a therapist for years. That wasn't going well at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly I was on a lot of different drugs and stuff, so like that didn't go well at all. I wasn't like learning or growing at all. And I like tried to go to a therapist one time, and then she quit, but I don't think she liked me very much. And so we got together, and I was actually, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, she was already in therapy, going to like a psychiatrist and stuff like that. But like I was like, I mean, because I again like I can't read tone like in general. Like I think that people are pissed off at me whenever I'm just existing. I mean, to the point of like I'll apologize for something that I think that you think I did.
But do you think Kelsey advocated? Like,
absolutely?
She was like, "Hey, you know,
facilitated." Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good.
The first time that I have insurance was last year, and it was through like Blue Cross or some shit. Yeah. It was the first time I ever got insurance, and first time I'd even thought to ask about it, because I just, you know, with car insurance, it was like $500 a month whenever the first time I ever looked it up. And so I just never looked it up again. And so like I'm sitting here, my teeth are rotten and stuff like that because I'm using drugs. My body hurts, and like just wasn't doing anything about it. And then like I was tired of feeling like I was like actively driving her away because of the fact that, like, you know, I am mentally ill, but also clinically ill on the microphone.
That's what they call sick beats.
Yes, sir. So like, you know, I needed help, and like I knew that, because otherwise, like, I was gonna screw this up. And like, I don't know if you guys can tell because she's pretty quiet, but like, that chick's smart, man. I mean, she's smarter than hell, smarter than me at the very least, but that ain't hard to do. Smarter than my dad, but I bet
That ain't hard
I
to
bet
do
he
either.
could beat her ass in a fight. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, she's smart, she's gorgeous. I mean, she's funny as all hell. And you know, I like watched myself doing things that I watched my biological mom doing whenever I was a kid, and like that got really, really scary. And so I tried to go to a psychiatrist first, and then she ended up like leaving right after our first appointment, which was like $450, which is why I got insurance. And then I went to a different therapist who, her name was like Stephanie or something, and I just got this vibe that like she didn't like me. She disagreed with things that I said because like she was like avid Christian, like, but like the kind who's like, well, you shouldn't have done that because God knows, like type beat 2024 instrumental. God, dude, I wish that I could stop doing that.
That's okay. Look, man, you opened up a beast with the beat over here, but go ahead, keep going.
I thought we opened up a beast with that eggnog. Therapy, dude, if you're thinking about it, do it. If you aren't thinking about it, man, everybody can improve somewhere. And
Ooh, amen.
I think it's bull honky, as the kids say nowadays. I think it's bull honky to sit and pretend, because I know people like in my life, previously in my life, I don't talk to a lot of these people who have this mindset, who do not think that they have any room to grow. If say that they're going to a couples counseling, like with their wife, because their wife can't stand their ass, because to be honest, they're probably miserable as hell because they don't think they have any room to improve. I know people who diss on therapy, but will make their wife go to therapy and then use the shit that they hear from that therapist against their wife, like, and still will refuse, like outright refuse, because I don't have anything I need to work on. Like, I don't have any mental illness. Homie, you do. Like, you have to. I mean, at the very least, you've got a complex of some sort. Like, you may not think that things are wrong with you or that you're doing anything wrong, but sometimes, dude, you have that shit so deep seated in your head that you've convinced yourself of one thing, and meanwhile, like, an entire different truth that you've like locked underneath like layers and layers of just like nothing, like blank space. I have blank space in my like childhood memory where like I was just blocking it out, and I've recently started to like delve into that. And some of that, I mean, some of it was really good stuff, man. Like, some of it's really, really good stuff. I used to sit outside of the trailer where Slow Decline did band practice and stuff. And, like, I was going through shit in Kansas, you know what I mean? And so, like, you know, I was a little bit of a space cadet. Still am. I don't know if you guys can tell. But like, you know, I was sitting outside of like the trailer. I just watched Cloverfield for the first time, and like I was playing with those, you know, those little like divots in the sand where like you can push ants into them, which is a little messed up if you think about it, but like whatever. You know, I was a kid. I was figuring out what it meant to even die or anything like that, but whatever. I swear to God, I'm not a serial killer anymore. But I actually realized that I'd like completely blocked out like a great portion of those practices. What the hell, Columbia martial arts. Like, I remember going to that, and like I didn't remember a lot of that. I had the shorts that like, but I didn't remember anything, like specific memories. And like,
well, yeah, because usually when you have trauma, you'll no, it's very well proven that when you have trauma that you will block it, like it'll become a blank space within your timeline.
Man, and figuring out like what you forgot is like more than music, more than anything, man. Like, it has been the most just relieving thing in the world. Like, you aren't always going to, not everything's sunshine and rainbows. Like, sometimes you're going to remember it and it's still going to suck and it's going to like eat at you for a while. But I mean, that's why you have the therapist, man. And like, I do think that it should be normalized, because even today, like where it is normalized, it's largely like some people view it as a stigma. Like, they don't want to be crazy. And it's not that you're crazy, dude. It's that you're human. And like, those dudes have been studying that stuff for years and years and years. And it's not based on opinion. It is based on statistics and stuff. In certain situations. Be careful who you choose as a therapist, because you...
Well, did you interview for your therapist? I mean, did you go through a couple, or did you just...
I went through Stephanie, and then I was like, I can't stand this lady. And Kelsey was telling me about we go to couples therapy together, just to like make sure we stay in a like communicative way. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has their issues and shit, but like, it is better. I mean, I think that it's far better to talk about that with somebody who literally by law, like, or by like general practice, like, can't choose a side. Like, just asks why, and then you sit and explain it. You sit and like dig your hole, whatever you're doing. Like, if you're in the wrong, you're likely digging a hole. I've dug a lot of holes, seen her dig a hole. You ever seen Holes with Shia LaBeouf? Great film. Couples therapy is helpful. And then after meeting her therapist for a couples therapy thing,
where do you guys go?
I would rather not disclose that.
Gotcha.
It's the internet. I mean, I just wouldn't like...
Do you guys do tele, or do you guys do in person?
In person is preferable, because our therapist is an absolute angel. And, though I can't, like, I don't feel comfortable all the time, I do once I'm there. Like, I can't leave the house to go to it sometimes, but, like, I'll call her and still do telehealth. But, like, whenever I do end up, like, being able to go there, it's far preferable to just like sit and talk to her, because I mean, she's so sweet, dude. This was like the first time I actually opened up to her and like told her what was up. And like, at least in my brain, she was like, but like, afterwards, she's like, I'm really proud of you, man. And like, that just kind of like made me break down, because like, it didn't occur to me that even though I was like screwing up and stuff like that, like, even though I was like messing up whatever life is, nowadays I don't really give a damn. Like, so what, I die at 42, at least I was here for a minute, you know what I mean? Raise hell, praise Dale, drive fast, smoke grass, hell yeah, brother. At least I was here. And at least I have people who actually give a damn. But like, I don't know. She said she was proud of me for like just acknowledging what was happening and like not escaping into D&D or into writing music, self-deprecative music, like, and that made me feel good. And then I kept going, and then every time that I would go, I would tell her a little bit more, and have been telling her a little bit more. And like, it's not like an immediate fix. Like, I'm still a screw up. Like, I still vape too damn much, or drink a little too much, but that's only if you ask the Mormons, which who's asking them? Sorry, Mormons. But I drink a little bit too much. I've been keeping it far more under control than whenever I was going to Alcoholics Anonymous, not to like illegitimize what they do. It's just a little too religious. It's kind of culty, but whatever.
Well, it sounds like you're on a good path though now.
You're dang tootin'.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. Progress.
One question. So in one of the movies, you have Dan Severn. Did you meet him?
Dan. Oh, no, I didn't meet him. Wait.
You did.
I don't have a good memory.
So-
I was also asleep during a lot of core films. I was going through like a depressive period, so I would just like film my scenes and stuff and try to like be there for as many of her scenes as I could and like hang out with people and interact, and I would just go to sleep.
It's a big. That's a big. I mean, I don't know if you understand how big he
No,
is.
I remember you talking to me about him.
Yeah,
whenever I was
and
young.
MMA's big.
Yeah.
That's funny that you had Dan Severn in one of your movies.
Oh, you know what? I do remember meeting him, but I didn't know at the time that that's who I was meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't know at the time that that's who I knew who he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I'd only ever seen like old ass pictures of him whenever
you didn't try him at all.
Try.
You like grab him in a hammerlock or nothing.
I wouldn't even try, dude. It would happen. Are you kidding me? Andy's old. I'm about to Mike Tyson him, man. And by that, I mean pay him to completely flake out on a fight.
Well, Chris, let me ask you this.
No.
What's your top 3 movies that you would recommend somebody to see in the horror genre?
Shit. Oh, in the horror? Oh,
yep.
Sorry.
Nope,
sorry.
you're good.
I'm so sorry. Martyrs. It's a French movie, absolute banger of a film. Literally the first 10 minutes of that movie, which in the metal scene means, heck yeah, brother, that's pretty good.
that looks like my girlfriend when I take off my clothes. She does it. She's like...
He says his girlfriend, it's literally just the maid, like the cleaning lady at the YMCA.
She turned me down, but thanks for asking. Thanks for adding that.
So Martyrs, number 2.
Martyrs, I don't like gory movies for the sake of being gory. I think that Martyrs did it extremely well. Recently I watched Terrifier, like the first 2 for the first time, and as somebody who like grew up on like Michael and stuff like that, you know, that whole just the dude that they have playing that Art the Clown and like the lore that they're like hinting at, oh man, it just does something for the nerd in me, man. Like I want there to be such deep lore about that dude, and he can't even talk. So that's a good damn movie, which everybody knows that now. Like I like that they're bringing back the slashers and stuff. Yeah, and it's an indie film. Like
nice.
Nice, yeah, that is good.
And number 3.
As far as horror movies go, Kel. What?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Sorry, I came.
He does take after you.
She knows
Clean
very
up
well.
on aisle 3.
I'm like a chihuahua. I get excited and it's gone after that. No, I'm gonna actually put 2 movies in one here because I think that the experience is worth sitting back to back and watching them. Evil Dead. That's just an honorable mention. Evil Dead 2 is probably my favorite Evil Dead. And then I also really, really like the Terror Vision movie. It's an old 80s movie, corny as hell. Honorable mentions, that's it. But damn, The Platform, Spanish movie, written by a guy whose name I can't remember, but who is an extremely, like, just careful writer who formulated this world where like the government has this series of platforms that go down and down and down, and people can either sign up like willingly to be in it, or they're there because of prison sentences. They're trying to reduce them and stuff. The concept is that it goes from 1 and further down. I'm not going to specify how many because I feel like it's kind of spoilery if I do. But it goes from number 1 all the way down. And the further down it gets, there's this big platform of food that just goes down every level, and like it stops for a specific amount of time, and then it goes down to the one before. You can't keep food with you, otherwise the room will heat up, or it will like cool down, and you'll either freeze or you will burn to death. Like literally catch on fire, burn to death. But you essentially, like the further down you go, because of the way that the world works. I mean, we have our Elon Musks, we have our what's his damn name, the dragon.
Joe Rogan.
Jeffrey
Oh,
Bezos.
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 Yeah, Jeffrey Bezos. People like those. We have those. They are real. They are here. Dragons exist. Because of people like that, they'll sit at the top and they'll just gorge themselves. And some of them to the point, like, they hate the people below them so much that they'll, like, defecate in the food and stuff like that to make it inedible to the people behind them.
Does that remind you of me?
Will you defecate in food? We've been trying to break him of it.
I tried squirting him with the water bottle the last time, and he just thought I was giving him something to drink.
He just got excited, man. It's like a golden retriever. You can't.
Well, let me ask you this. All right, as we're coming towards the end here, what would you say is the most overrated horror film ever made?
Don't bully me. Damn it. Insidious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
or the Conjuring. Is that the one? And then the one with that one dude, the red guy. Like, that's the Conjuring. I'm just describing the Conjuring. Yeah. Anything in that series, anything regarding any stories that couple told, boring. I don't like that stuff, man. I like good old monsters and give me the triple B's, man. Blood, booze, and bozos.
So real quick, Chris is in Return of the Corn Zombies, The Children of the Woods, Amityville Ripper, and he worked on The Rescue. Kelsey, who he's talked to the whole thing, was on Amityville, Slaughter on the Set, Children of the Woods, and Grandma, Red Light Shark Attack.
Hey, man, you didn't give me my credit for... they didn't give me... Okay, sorry.
Go ahead. What now?
I was a very, very hot femboy in that movie that Kelsey's character...
Which one?
...was very protective of. His name was Nico. And we were booze.
Also, please
But
check him.
we don't claim red light. So.
Also, check him out on Freebase Propane. Is that on Facebook?
Look up Freebase Propane on freebasepropane.bandcamp.com. Look us up at www.facebook.com/freebasedpropane. Look us up on YouTube at www.youtube.com/freebasedpropane with a 0 instead of an O. Music.
Any other socials that people could reach out if they have any questions?
We also have Instagram. First time I've ever remembered to bring that up. And if you ever just want to talk or anything, I have a lot of resources that I can give you in regard to therapy. If you're using an active addiction, I have a lot of resources I can give you for that shit. It's not easy at all, and like it whatever. I'm not gonna give you that whole rant. But if you just want to talk, dude, or like shoot the shit, or like, you know, you think I have bad taste in movies, or you think that my music sounds like donkey doo-doo, I would urge you to listen to the Shags in that case. But you know, just reach out, because I do it not for like the, you know, obviously I'm not getting paid for any of it. I just like to talk to people who have experienced similar stuff, who need to hear that, like, you know, you're not like a freak for going through shit, you know.
Yeah.
Which I'm sorry that I kind of like dumpstered this shit with my trauma.
No, you're good, bud. You're good, man.
Well, Chris, I want to say before we do the big sign off here, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being vulnerable, and thank you for telling your story.
Can I please rewrite you guys' theme song? I mean, I'll do it full band and everything. I have a producer like on stamp. Can I please rewrite it so it's not AI?
We'll see about that.
That's not a no.
I don't know.
Well, Mike.
Well, buddy, I think I really appreciate you having your son on with us and sharing his story, man. It was really great. Before we go, I know Summer's got something to say here real quick. Go, Summer.
This episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and find us on Facebook, Spotify, X, and TikTok.
Thanks for tuning in to Everyday Heroes. Make sure you tune in next week for our next guest, and y'all have a great week.
Don't forget 988 Suicide and Crisis Hotline. Thanks. Have a great weekend, guys. A happy Thanksgiving, and see ya!
Bye!
You did.